At Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. The scene in South Philly a few moments ago. Boy, the city of brotherly love is fired up. They're saying fly, Eagles, fly as they get ready to match up with the New York Giants. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the rookie from NC State, this is Nyheim Hines. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Let's go. What? 90. What? 90.
They go play action here on 1st down. Sliding out of the pocket. And that is incomplete. The intended target was Corey Coleman. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
Let's go. Brand 38. Brand 38.
To throw on 3rd down. Jones throwing deep here for Coleman. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. Maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a cornerback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
Here's Leonard Fournette, 1,000-yard rusher from a year ago. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Detroit! Detroit! Over! Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. No. Check. Patriot.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, You can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish, holding that to a minimal gain?
And a reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Fournette, a first down carry. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And that was a good run. This was only one of... Nine guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017, and I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
Set. 3-19.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Alec Ogletree. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Well, we looked at each other. Right away, we knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And it looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves him with 7 yards to go on 3rd down.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7.
Here we go. Brand 38. Brand 38. Ohio.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he showcased the spin, but couldn't do much else as he's wrangled down. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense, because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. Ooh, with a juke. And now running right through him. And out now come the Eagles. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Here we go now. 319. 319.
They'll drop to throw. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A nice gain of 21 yards. Here's a give to Fournette. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
All right, here we go. 319. 319.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Deshaun Jackson with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals. All right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Now a first carry for LeGarrette Blount. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And unable to get downhill there, so he'll take this up to about the 37. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Now it's Hines, and he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Flex round! Flex round!
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
They only need a yard here. 3rd down and 1 after the penalty.
Come on, let's go!
Now Bill. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They run with Hines. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short. Two minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this.
Come on, let's go! What? 90! What? 90!
They'll run it here with Blount. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Hines on the toss play. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. Clock rolling as the Giants will hurry to the line. Now Jones looking to throw on 2nd down. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And it's 3rd down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. The Giants on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Let's go! What? 90! What? 90! Ohio! Ohio! Hey!
From the gun, Jones. Incomplete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as he'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. Now a toss play. It's Hunt down to the 25. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Here we go. White, nothing. White, nothing.
Here's Jones on third down. And this is going to be incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
And Rosas puts this one through. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me,
I was.
It sounds like you're thinking the 3's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead. But a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. They keep it with Fournette on first down. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Now back to throw. Flushed out right. And he takes a shot on the release, as this will be incomplete.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
They'll set up a throw. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off by Janoris Jenkins. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10.
Flex round! Flex round!
Jones now. Off play action. He'll air this one toward Coleman. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. They'll throw now on the final play. Dumps it off to Fournette. And able to get a little more breathing room out to the 5-yard line. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, but I believe it was covered by an Eagle. It was, and Philadelphia is going to hold on to the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. That is incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. And it's third down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Giants will begin this drive in good shape. 1st and 10. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. Here's Blount. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. The Giants on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. This is Hines, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
All 9 points for him coming via the field goal, and this last one puts him out in front.
All the field goals are great, but you know I'm going to get pessimistic here, right? Because you've got to score touchdowns to win games in the NFL. I just wonder if all these field goals, great now, or if they'll come back and haunt them later on.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Trying to get the run game going. This is Fournette. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
A gain of 3, second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
All right, here we go.
A handoff to Fournette. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
On first down, they run with Howard. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, 90. Blue.
He'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That goes for a gain of 31.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They're going to look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, so much of playing quarterback in the snow comes down to trying not to do too much. You've got to just keep telling yourself, throws downfield we've run every day in practice all year. But guess what? They suddenly become more difficult. And this one gets away from him and winds up an interception.
Flex round, flex round. Flex round, flex round.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And down he'll go at the 25. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll make it a second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Jones off the play fake. He'll buy some time right. Gonna let it fly for Rudolph. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
The Giants on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun. Jones finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Jones on the move to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. This is caught inside the 15. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Now Jones on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And his throw here's incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game. On third down, that's Hines. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a fourth down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And the kick by Rosas is good. And that will push the lead up to 12-7. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Alec Ogletree. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Now a handoff to Rashard. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down.
Come on, let's go. What? 90.
Here's Hines. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And Rosas puts this one through. And that now makes this a 15-7 game. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often. But you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jabal Sheard in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still 3rd and long.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw here. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Dalvin Tomlinson in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. The Eagles send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this will be taken at the 13. 62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And the Giants' drive will start from deep in their territory with a 1st and 10. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here.
Flex round. Flex round. Ohio. Ohio. Ohio.
And they'll run it here. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. Here's Jones. Off play action. Throwing deep here for Coleman. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Finding room to the 20. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Nyheim Hines with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Giants add on to their lead. And the lead is up to 15 now. Rosas now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And got his man complete. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. It's a big play there for the Eagles. 47 yards. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Here we go now. Boom, landed.
Back to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. That one goes for 24 yards. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Back to throw again. Flush to his right, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
And this is going to be caught? No, they say it's incomplete. And it's incomplete. Still time left, though. 2 seconds remaining now in the 4th quarter. This is 3rd and goal. And this Giants defense, they have withstood the test thus far.
Set. Green 39. Green 39. No. Check. Patriot. Patriot. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! 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 Gone! 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 Gone!
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. Well, partner, there's something special about a game in the snow. Just always fun in these elements, although a little chillier up here in the open-air booth. The only thing that's not fun is that we got the mid-game notification that our flight was canceled tonight, but we'll deal with that later. It was really a fun game to watch, though.
It was, and there is something special about games played in the snow because the element of surprise really kicks in. You don't know how they're going to handle the ball, if someone's going to make a dramatic play just out of nowhere, and all of a sudden it just changes the course of things. But a big shout out to our crew to make sure that we were comfortable up here, as comfortable as one could be. In these elements, they took care of us and made sure we were dressed properly.
So for the Giants, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 8-3 on the year. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, their luck may have run out as they fall to 4-7 now on the year. And they'll be back home next week for a date with the Washington Redskins.